Welcome to Honest Tarot Deck Reviews. I'm Carly from Soundsight Studios in Austin, Texas. I want to introduce you to the Mother Tarot Deck. We'll talk about the creative power behind the work, the writing, I'll show you some of my favorite cards, and ultimately I'll help you decide if this is the right deck for you. Please note, some of these cards contain themes of sexuality and motherhood. They're not all suitable for work. Now that this is out of the way, let's dive in. The Mother Tarot was published in 2021. The creative genius behind the work is the illustrator and writer Ren McMurdo-Brignac. She considers herself an intuitive artist inspired by bodies, nature, queerness, and psychology. She currently lives in Seattle, Washington, and she is a full-time artist. Ren holds a degree in Mixed Media Gender Studies from Western Washington University and an associate's degree from the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in LA, where she focused on androgynous fashion. Two cards that greatly benefited from Ren's revisioning are the Empress and the Emperor. The Empress is one of many cards that break the norms of traditional female beauty. The Emperor depicts masculinity in a powerful, flowing, and nurturing way. The Mother Tarot is inspired by the earth. It took Ren 3 years to complete this project, and that paralleled a time when her and her wife were considering bringing a child into the world. The Mother Tarot is inspired by themes of birth, creativity, and climate change. Ren encourages readers to gain guidance from these cards as they navigate and embrace this dynamic time on the planet. Each card is a square with equal length sides. The intention is that the reader may incorporate the 4 seasons, the 4 elements, the 4 directions, and the 4 phases of the lunar cycle into the readings. Ren says of this deck, "May maternal figures and creators of all kinds find reverence for themselves in these cards. Discover beauty in your journey and fresh perspective with this deck's rainbow of creative archetypes." I love the details of illustrations on this box. You can see on the lineup of cups a reverence for the life-giving powers of the female body. The box is a great size and it's very strong. Unfortunately, it's hard to get this lid off. Oftentimes, I have to shake the box and hope for the best. While it's hard to get the lid off while the cards are in the box, it's twice as hard when the box is empty. The secret I found is to hit the box from the side. The booklet is 174 pages. Ren writes the standard introduction, greeting, and dedication you would expect in a tarot booklet, but goes a step farther in adding illustrated instructions for how to shuffle, lay out, and read your card. She says, "Shuffle the cards with an overhand shuffle. Fan them out. Choose a card on which you'll take time to contemplate and reflect." On top of traditional suit associations, Ren encourages the reader to also consider a season and direction with each suit. For instance, the swords represent the south and summertime. Pentacles represent north and winter. Cups represent west and autumn. The wands represent east and springtime. The booklet includes an excellent number reference chart and a guide to interpreting the orientation of each card depending on how it comes out in the layout. I also really respect Ren for making space to put the picture of each card next to its meaning. This takes more paper and more ink, but it makes it much easier for the reader to find the card when flipping through the book. And if you don't have the deck handy, but you have this booklet, it can work as a tarot deck in a pinch. One unique thing about this deck is the Strength and Justice cards are swapped. Why did I put that in air quotes? Time for history lesson. The Justice card was card number 8 up until 1909 when Arthur Edward Waite published his version of a tarot deck. He argued that having the Strength card be number 8 better aligned the tarot deck to the astrological correspondences established by the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. His deck was very influential. It still is to this day. So most other decks followed his lead. But every once in a while, you see a creator revert to that older style of structure. It doesn't change how you read the deck, but now you know. Let's check out the big three we compare across each deck. We're starting with the Three of Cups. It features three mermaids, palms pressed together and connected with infinity signs. You'll notice these fish in the corners are being drawn towards them, almost like their love and joy are magnetic. I love this illustration. Our second card is the Star. It always takes me a minute to pull apart the details of this illustration because there's a lot going on. The character has stars on her skin, and then her legs turn into leaves. In her lap, she's playing with a praying mantis-shaped mini version of herself, who is also made out of leaves. And of course, she has wings. These are fairy creatures. The reader is encouraged to embrace healing, to embrace their own light, and to dance. I like that meaning. But as my dad would say, the illustration is interesting. By that I mean, it doesn't elicit a very strong intuitive response from me when I first look at it. Is that just me? Let me know your thoughts. Our third card of the big three is Death. In the Mother Tarot, Death is portrayed as a pinup girl, provocatively adorned with symbols of decay. It's the type of card that when it comes up, I don't really want to look at it. But once I do look at it, I can't look away. It's humorous and it's charming. Let's have a look at our 5 categories to see if this is the deck you've been waiting for. Is it queer friendly? Off the charts. It's queer friendly and sex positive. Is it racially diverse? Yes, there is a high variety of ethnicities represented. Are people with disabilities represented? Yes, finally, yes, we have one card. Can you guess which one it is? It's the Chariot. Maybe it should be called the Wheel Chariot. It seems so obvious now when you think about it. It's a wonderful card, and I'm really happy to see this inclusion in the deck. Is there a diverse range of body shapes? Yes. People in this deck look like real humans. We have hairy legs, little titties, big bellies, no bellies. We have a whole range. Is there a balance of gender and a range of expression? Oh yes, there's lots of examples. Let's compare this to a traditional deck that serves as a good baseline. How closely does the artwork align to the Rider-Waite-Smith? 0 out of 5. This is a very modern and evolved tarot deck. The artwork is very much updated, but it does maintain the essential core meanings of the tarot cards. Let's talk about the tone of the deck. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being harsh and 5 being gentle, I would place this at a 4. The writing is very gentle. The words are thoughtfully chosen. Yet the images have some shock factor to them. When I'm working with clients, they're often taken aback when these cards turn over. To be fair, they weren't expecting some of these images to pop up. But each time, they are surprised at the powerful and resonant message that it contains. On the whole, the deck is inclusive, supportive, and loving. Does the creator have experience with the subject matter? Yes. Ren depicts her own life experience, and she's been working with tarot for over 10 years. Would I use this deck? Absolutely. I take it to events when I think I have an audience who will appreciate it, but it is a $69 investment, and so I try to keep it in good condition, which often means keeping it home for personal use. The cardstock is really thin. I'm very careful with this deck to make sure I don't damage anything. In general, the colors are a mix of bright pastels. It's very cheery and it's very bright. But on the cards that relate to heavier and more challenging themes, you'll see darker purples, dark blues, and a little bit of black. This does a great job of communicating a deep and meaningful experience. The finish is a bit glossy, but not too much. It's a good balance, so it's easy to photograph your cards if that's important to you in your practice. The card backs are a symmetrical design. If you like to use reversals, this is great because you can't tell the top from the bottom or the left from the right. But I am pretty sure that's a vagina in the center. Cheers to that. This is not an ideal first deck. I would recommend it as a 4th or 5th deck purchase. It's perfect as a gift for the feminist in your life, the advocate or activist for social justice, or simply a tarot-loving friend with a good sense of humor. Did any of these cards surprise you? Tell me which one in the comments below. If you're ready to buy this deck, you'll find a link in the description. Make sure to follow me on all my socials to stay in touch. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. You'll get more cool tarot content like this. Happy reading!